Good evening, my name is Judy Folger and I've been a resident of Ottawa South for over 30 years. My hydro bills just keep going up and up, more than my retirement income. It seems there's been one policy foul up after another. The green energy program with its windmills and solar panels, the smart meter mess that is me doing my laundry after 7 p.m. and before 7 a.m., and all the hundreds of millions of dollars wasted on the gas plant scandal. We hear hydro rates are going to continue to climb, maybe 50% in the next 5 years. My question to Mr. Fraser is, we know everything your party has done to drive energy costs up. What are you going to do to bring them down?
3 weeks ago, next week, there was a blackout across most of Eastern North America and Ontario. That blackout happened because previous governments did not invest in our infrastructure. In the last 9.5 years, we spent $13 billion building more hydro, refurbishing nuclear, green energy, replacing transmission lines, replacing telephone poles. They don't last forever. So now we have a system that families and businesses can rely on. Now, in this world, access to energy and energy security is a very important thing. And anybody who tells you that you're going to pay less for energy, whether it's electricity or natural gas or oil, they're not telling you the truth. Just read the newspapers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's go down the line, starting with Mr. Young, please.
Is there an electrical engineer in the House? Maybe Mr. Turmel can give Mr. Fraser a lesson on how the electrical grid works and how Ontario did not cause the blackout. We'll just leave it at that. Now, let's talk about the power for a second. For the very longest time, as long as we can all remember, Ontario had the most competitive hydro rates in the region. That was more competitive than Quebec. That was more competitive than Alberta. That was more competitive than the United States. You know how we powered that? With the greenest energy of all, the water that flows over Niagara Falls. This government, through their absolute mismanagement of this file, has caused us to idle Niagara Falls. $300 million, according to the Auditor General, flowed around the dam and didn't generate electricity for us last year. They're turning off nuclear plants because they need to buy power at inflated rates from windmills. This government cannot be trusted on this file. If you want change in energy, it comes from the PC party.
There's a lot better reasons than that, okay? But 20 years ago, North York Hydro was issuing $25 energy gift certificates. Now that brings us to the Argentine solution. 2001, Argentina was broke. 2006, all foreign debt paid off. How'd he do that? Union said, you're not gonna lay us off to the government who had no money. He said, we'll print and you'll take small denomination provincial bonds is what we want, if we can use them for hydro, taxes, medical, and licenses. So everybody else will take the bonds. So, guess what? No layoffs, more employment, all foreign debt paid off in 5 years by using their own provincial bond bucks. Now, they could have done this with Ontario Hydro. These are $25 energy gift certificates. Would anybody in the room turn that down? No! If you can pay taxes, medical, and licenses too, it's better. So, I'll be talking more about the Argentine solution, but that's the answer you gotta find before this election.
Thank you, Mr. Turmel. Ms. Cucciello.
Thank you. When the green energy policy was first introduced, it looked pretty good in many ways, but through mismanagement and through the government's also privatization, we have seen hydro rates skyrocket. Our rates here in Ontario are 50% higher than our neighbors to the east and to the west, which is simply unacceptable. We are committed to finding reliable, sustainable, and affordable energy that does not download the cost onto families. Yes, it needs to be environmentally sound. We need to make sure that what we move forward with is also involving the community, doing the proper consultation, the proper environmental assessments at the beginning, and not having we need to clean up the mess that has been made. Thank you.
Energy and the environment are one of my pet subjects. I recommend to you highly a book that I just recently read called Abundance, which is all about the leading edge technologies in a variety of fields, such as energy, that are just in front of us, if not already here. Respectfully disagree with John. We have mountains of energy, rivers of energy. It surrounds us. It's in form after form, if only science will be allowed to advance and to develop it. 100 years ago, 150 years ago, oil was considered a blight on farmers. It was dirty, it was ugly, it was nasty, they wanted to get rid of it. And then they decided, oh well, maybe if we figure out a way to refine it, we can convert it to energy, and the Industrial Revolution really took hold. Solar energy is not practical today. I've owned a solar panel for 20 years. It is fantastically inefficient. In about 20 years, it will be efficient, but we shouldn't be using government money to shovel your tax dollars after solar energy today.
Mr. Fraser's answered this. Monsieur Bisson.
Ontario was the hub of the economy because of cheap energy. Right now, you get an electrical bill, you've used $10 electricity and $40 delivery charges. Now, don't kid yourself, it's not 6 cents a kilowatt, it's 20 cents a kilowatt. And the green energy, paying someone to produce electricity at 40 and 80 cents a kilowatt, how do you think you're going to sell that to private business? You won't. They're not going to come in here and buy electricity at that higher rate. And how do you bring in manufacturing? Cheap energy. Where is this government taking us? Not towards prosperity, that's for sure.
First, if you look on your little rebate on your hydroelectric bill, you've got 5 years of rebates. After that, they stop. So I say, green energy, things like green energy, scrap them. They don't work. Bring them back. Manufacturing back to Ontario that we've lost through the excessive cost of energy, and get our tax base back. And that's about it.
I think our main focus here is on conservation. So working what we already have. So instead of pouring money into nuclear and locking ourselves into something that's unsustainable, the dollar that you could spend on nuclear, instead you could spend that dollar on conservation and get $1.7 back in economic benefit. That means creating high-tech jobs. So putting money back into our economy, getting jobs, getting high-tech, getting us what we need so solar panels can work, because currently the model that we have, it's incompatible. We need smart grid technology in this province. So we have to expand more in flexible forms of energy. So harnessing all that we have in this province, because as we've heard on this panel, that we do have a lot of great resources. And right now, just the way that the green energy was pushed through too quickly, probably from pressure from green votes that were in the 2007 election, that the Green Energy Act was pushed in way too quickly without proper consultation, and we're feeling the fallout from that.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. Mr. Evans.
Two points I got here. First of all is on the gas plants. How much money did we actually save on the project? We look at Darlington and we look at Niagara. If that project was to continue, how much millions would we have spent to get it finished and complete? Another aspect is, we were asked that same question last week. So I have a friend in Thunder Bay who's in the energy consultant business. And this is what's happened in the north. Right now, our area is becoming more of an importer of power from the south, from the east, because of the Green Energy Act. They have to import the green sources first before before, and nuclear before they can turn on a power dam up north. So my suggestion is turn the north grid onto the south.
Thank you, Ms. Reddens. Thank you all. Anyone numbers 16 to 20?